Garba is a very common thing because see, the beauty of it is all we have come out of the Garbha, but we have no idea about Garbha. Garbha is something which is holding this Jnanananda. So my source itself is my mother's Garbha, a male which has had the fertilizing capacity, which can receive the energy aspect in the form of rathas and then fertilize, then put in a womb, that is called female, or a man with the womb becomes woman. Fertilize is what? It is becoming a fruit. That's a fertility. What Hiranya himself. We have characters like Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. Hiranya is golden. Hiranya is the hidden Jnanananda Swarupa.
Namaste viewers. Today with our special guest Dr. Nagendra sir, a Vedic scholar and a medical doctor who's been guiding us on understanding the Vedic terminologies for a long time now, is going to help us understand one of the most beautiful yet one of the most sophisticated terms called Hiranyagarbha. I'm sure most of you all overheard of terms like Hiranyagarbha or the cosmic womb and who are excited about exploring it deeper. I'm equally excited to know more about this. So let's welcome Doctor first. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us again. Doctor, when we heard the very term womb, there is a sense of awe, there's a sense of delight that comes into our heart. There's a gush of energy that comes into us, just like as if we are with the mother right now in this very moment. So when we hear of something like a cosmic womb, it's a massive energy that we all experience. But let's try to understand from the basics from you. What is this? Because nowadays a lot of people use this. There are certain terms that are used during guided meditations, but we don't really connect deeper into it because we don't know what this is all about. So could you please explain, is there something really called cosmic womb, or what is this Hiranyagarbha has to do with this? And is there a journey that we can explore as a yana into this? Please let us know, please.
Yes. Thank you. Once again. So as we are proceeding from many episodes, so it becomes easier, but for somebody who is listening as this as the first speech, it may not be very much connected with that. So the topic of Hiranyagarbha is, we can take it from the point of, from the creation itself. There has been more the theoretical aspect of that. Instead of going into the creation from the source, from where the entire creation or the Srishti happened, which is not very general topic to discuss. Instead, we say, what is that I can conceive as a Hiranyagarbha within my limited knowledge. So the first thing is, we'll try to bring it to what we can actually experience as Hiranyagarbha, rather than information about Hiranyagarbha. Because whole of the Vedic literature and then Upanishad talks about that and then explains. There are more than 10,500 mantras in the Rig Veda itself, and total 26,000 mantras in the 4 Vedas. There are many Upanishads, 100 plus Upanishads. Trying to explain all this, still it remains a small aspect of that. Now we can imagine to what extent we can describe that. But what can we experience as a Hiranyagarbha? So the one is Hiranya, the Garbha. We'll see the two words. Garbha is a very common thing because see, the beauty of it is all we have come out of the Garbha, but we have no idea about Garbha. This is such a, because it's a very intent of the nature is to forget it. The source. I am from my mother. In fact, I did this trying to do this experience and experimenting that, going back to my mother's womb and then trying to reborn. So non-physically you can do that.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. We do a therapy called rebirth process, where we help a lot of people pertaining to what specific concerns they go through, where we help them to recall the memories of being in the womb and journeying through that. Beautiful, Doctor. Yes, please go ahead.
That's in the consciousness which we are in the memory is below that. That we call a subconscious. Sub is those are terminologies.
Yeah, true.
So it is in the subconscious. When you go to this hypnotic, hypno is below that, then you can equally unearth that. So it comes in. As a expression I would have forgotten, but as a self I know that. Okay, so that is in the very deeper sense. So if we discuss on that, it becomes more theoretical. Now what is from the application point of view, what I can use it, we'll confine the discussion to that. So the Garbha word will have Ga, Bha and Ra, Garbha. If any word, especially in Sanskrita, it carries some aspect of qualities within that. Ga always goes with the Gati or the Jnana. The Go is a ray, or it's a knowledge, ray of knowledge. So it's a knowledge. Ra is Actually, Rama, Ramayati, the delight.
Yeah.
So there is a knowledge and then the bliss, Ananda, Jnanananda. Bha is Bharana, one which has to have that. So,
Which is bearing
yeah,
that.
that's where we get the Bharata. One is to shine, other is as a vessel.
Yeah.
Now this Garbha is something which is holding this Jnanananda. So my source itself is my mother's Garbha. So that is why we are so eager to always be happy, always to know.
Yeah.
Anything I know makes me happy. Anything happy, it teaches me something. It's a Jnanananda Swarupa. So that is a Garbha we are talking. So that Garbha as a part of the mother, why we call mother is like a matru, that's come like a mantra. So anything that comes from the source, from the Vedic point of view, just to give a glimpse of it, we call it as a Purusha, the supreme being, not the male and female. Purusha today has become man and then a Prakriti as a woman or a Stri as a lady. This is our convenience. From the word Purusha is who is residing in that. Purusha, the Sha Tattva in that Puru. There are multiple meanings of this. The entire Purusha Sukta is on that. So a female is also a Purusha. To put it in a simple word, all humans are Purusha. All beings are Purusha. So from that point of view, Purusha is the Mula Tattva, and in action you can Prakruti. So it's an action, a Kruti. Any literature is also Kruti. In the perfect form, it's a Prakruti.
Right.
In action, that is a feminine aspect. So the static and the dynamic. The static is Purusha Tattva because the source of energy, there is an action of energy, kinetic energy, the potential and the kinetic. This is what we are calling it as the Prakriti. Now to have the Garbha, it needs to be a mother, it's put into the feminine only. Now you see there is a male and there is a female. A male, now you see outside, a male which has had the fertilizing capacity, which can receive the energy aspect in the form of Retas and then fertilize, then put in a womb, that is called female. Or a man with the womb becomes woman. So whether English knows it or not, the word exactly means that. So now this receiving capacity is, the whole reproductive system is designed in such a way that that is called the Garbha, which protects the building, the growth aspect of before it actually expresses. So if you can understand the Garbha, because I always feel so good having studied MBBS, it becomes so easy.
Correct.
There are many things it's difficult to understand, and then they may not be very clear. And thanks to all my patients who have actually helped me to learn more and more. In fact, helped to work with them on this growth aspect of it. So that's how we all believe in, especially the healers who work with them. This is opportunity we have got. So this is the Garbha we are talking. And now you see any idea. Now we'll bring completely, that's a physical. Now it's my individual. That's the highest for entire creation. Srishti, what we call, there was a Garbha. From there everything came out. To this Garbha, who is the potential energy, the static energy is the Narayana himself. And then the Garbha of Lakshmi, the Prakriti Mata. Mata, then Lakshmi Narayana. So that is the Garbha of what we say, and it is physically taken as a Garbha Gudi in a temple. So Garbha is the source of knowledge because that is a Tattva there, and we all go as the receivers. And there is a birth happening every time. If I am able to, through my eyes, I can receive it. Through my body, I can receive it. The energy. That is a Garbha Gudi. It's like a confined place. Now you see most of the famous temples, it's a fact. Energy around only Garbhagudi will be in the pure form. Immediately after that it becomes commercial or business center. It's irony. That we say that okay, the idol was beautiful, but outside has become very commercial. It is, but you can also divinize that. If you look at that, this idol is, this divine is catering everybody's needs because you are going inside to again do a business. It's a transaction what you are doing, going and asking for something. So that is the Garbha, Hiranya, out of that Hiranya Garbha. Now a thought also happens similarly. Now if you want something, a creative thought, create a new concept, a conceive. Then you open your Garbha inside, the mind, and the ideas from above as intuition or flashes that comes in to that, and then it gets conceived, it gets fertilized. This fertilized one, fertilize is what? It is becoming a fruit. That's a fertility. Becoming useful. Unfertile is useless. Now this takes form of thoughts or idea extends and then we bring it out. Every time I get a thought, there is a Garbha. It's a Garbhadana happening. And then, in fact, there is a beautiful, immediately after that Hindu marriage, there is a Garbhadana Samskara itself. The highest divine, today what we made it as a, it's very unfortunate that many of the times it becomes a recreational activity.
Correct.
It is actually procreational activity. For the creation, it's a pro, that is enhancing that aspect.
Yes.
It is not to have, it is to not miss the joy of it.
Yeah, true.
Of Prakriti, what is happening.
True.
But that is not the only, it's not just a recreation or the loose term of recreation.
Yes.
It is a procreation helping the process what the divine himself wants to happen.
Wow.
So I become an instrument for that. So the joy of what is happening here, it's multiplied, it's divinized. That's the reason in all the temples you see that there's a man and woman in different postures. You'll be surprised, what are
Around
this
the
happening?
temple, the pillars and all that. Yeah.
Yes, because we miss out this aspect. Symbolically, this is what is Lakshmi Narayana, or the creation is happening, every thought process, the idea is happening, a baby is born, a seed is gone, even a plant, it gets fertilized, it's either auto-fertilized or coming from outside.
Yes.
The process is exactly the same in whichever plane you take it. Okay, even a friendship or a company, how it goes on. Now this is the Garbha we are talking about. If you have this concept, the way you look at woman becomes beautiful. You look at the mother, then you say that the man will have a mother who gives birth,
Exactly.
and then the
So
wife
say that,
who
yeah.
feeds, and then gives that all the joy you're looking for, complete giving up everything, and then the daughter. You see, a man will have three mothers. You see, whenever you see outside, everything beautiful become mother. That is a Mata.
Wow.
This is the concept with which we are looking at.
So, is this what we mean when we try to understanding the essence of Hiranyagarbha, or in the Vedic context trying to perceive that and help us to evolve spiritually? Is this in line with what you're trying to explain?
Yes, this is partially because, as I told, we're not going to the creation. Now there is a Garbha. Now we'll add that Hiranya. What Hiranya himself? We have characters like Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. Hiranya is golden. The loose term today is Hiranya is golden. Why golden? Golden we see because it's auspicious, precious, or it's like expensive, a golden color. Because you say, even in the Sri Sukta, Sri Sukta talks about the Hiranyavarnam, the color it's golden.
Yes.
It has got the golden color, yellow has got its own significance from that point of view.
Right.
But here, we'll start from the outside. Who is this Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu? Without even going to that. Hiranya as a gold, if you see. Hiranyaksha is somebody who is like who is only bothered about the gold.
Correct.
Now, where did Hiranyaksha gone? Now it has gone inside me. Now we are all behind gold. The external aspect of the Hiranya.
True, true.
Forgot the Hiranya inside. Now we'll see now what Hiranya is. I'm only talking about Hiranya as a gold.
Yeah.
Then Hiranyakashipu. Kashipu is somebody who holds on himself. Kash is to put it under my pillow or holding only to myself. And who is the Hiranyakashipu today? We are the one putting all our gold into a locker and then holding it on. Hiranya not necessarily only a gold. All those precious things I want it for only myself and hold it on. This is Hiranya. But the Vedic concept of Hiranya is just like Garbha. It is the Jnanananda Swarupa in that Bharati. In that Hiranya is he, that is like something like hidden. Ra is the Ananda. Nya is Jnana. Now this Hiranya is the hidden Jnanananda Swarupa, not manifested. Now this Hiranyagarbha becomes the hidden Jnanananda Swarupa is coming into in that container of Jnanananda Swarupa. Now the Hiranyagarbha, the itself is coming and taking the form of this Hiranyagarbha. Now why this is Hiranya? Because that is a Shri, that's a Lakshmi herself. That's why we call wealth as Lakshmi. We do Lakshmi Puja. And then Lakshmi always, even in the photograph, we see the gold is showering out. Because she herself is gold.
Yes.
And what the gold we are taking from the mud is not. Lakshmi is also Bhumi, Bhutattva.
Yeah.
If you dig it further, she may give something for the child to be happy, a small lollipop. But if you ask only for Sri Tattva, she gives the Hiranya herself. And then she takes the birth within you, in the Garbha. You become the Garbha for the Sri Tattva to take birth at all. All of it coming out. The hidden Jnanananda Swarupa conceives here in this Garbha, Jnananda Swarupa, then I am Jnananda Swarupa, then I express Jnananda Swarupa. This is the Veda.
And the beautiful thing is it's happening at multiple levels, as you said.
At all levels, multiple levels, at all levels, at the physical things. You look at the physical beauty of a woman and then you see that and you have that joy, not with that perverted thoughts. Then the female becomes respectful. She enjoys that. Why does a female gives everything to the husband and always away from a stranger? Is it really required? Because the respect she get. Because the level of consciousness we bring in. This is a societal arrangement so that there is a sanctity maintained. So when you do that, the same thing explained in a Veda, then you surrender yourself completely to the mantra itself. The mantra, just like a wife, she reveals herself, she becomes naked in front of you. This is a Veda mantra. So what it is, then all the hidden things, the covered things, the Hiranya, then it becomes into the Garbha. Now it is up to me, how do I take it level to the higher level and then express that Jnana, Ananda and share with all. If you don't have that selfish things, the selfless, the whole things, now the source was Hiranyagarbha, the process is Hiranyagarbha, now the entire thing is Hiranyagarbha. Now you see this is a cyclical happening.
Wow. Now I'm sure, including me, viewers will be excited to know about the mantras that are mentioned. As you said, thousands of mantras in Vedas, which can help us to connect with this understanding.
Absolutely.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Doctor. Well, viewers, getting into our roots, knowing where we come from is not limited to understanding just our family tree, isn't it? So getting into the depth of the cosmic womb, the creation itself and bringing it on at all dimensions and levels, as Doctor explained, is such a profound spiritual journey in itself, isn't it? If you like to know more about this, do mention that in the comment box. We will see you again in the next episode and try to explore more about what other beautiful explanations about creation or the divinity or spirituality is mentioned in the Vedic context with the guidance of Doctor. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, Doctor. We'll see you again. Namaste, viewers.